Yo, yo, yo! What's up? What's going on? I'm gonna let people trickle in here. Probably gonna take a little while. What is up? What's happening? Let's see what this will look like. What's going on? An ideal time to do that, an afternoon on Memorial Day, where at least in most places it's beautiful today. But yeah, I got some time, like pretty much a half hour to 40 minutes to pretty much kill. And yeah, baseball just locked, or it's gonna lock in 1 minute. So if you have a question right there, you could try and throw it out there. But yeah, baseball just locked, and I'm just chilling. I'm doing what I usually do. I can go over just what I got to in terms of my lineups for baseball. And if anybody has questions with that, but I figured, yeah, why not just jump on this while I have the time and kind of this will be more of a trial based run at what I'll be doing to some extent on Sportscaster, which I have a partnership with Sportscaster starting in June, and same thing YouTube. YouTube will all be the same. Nothing's really changing on the YouTube front. The only thing that's changing is I'll do like a couple of streams a week over on a Sportscaster platform. What's going on, Brian Anderson? How you doing? Yeah, I'm just hopping on this different than I usually do, but yeah, game's just locked. We're just chilling. It's Memorial Day, and I got some time to kill before having to be anywhere for Memorial Day and enjoy the day. So baseball started. I kind of want to go over what I did for today's slate. I've been a tinker machine and just changing lineups the last couple of really like half hour to 5 minutes before the games. Today it was like 15 minutes, 10 minutes really before the games locked, as they just did, I believe. The game's locked today at 1 or 110. I believe it's 1. But yeah, so pretty much what I ended up landing on, so you kind of have to ignore one to two of those guys, and that's not really something that I wanted to do. So I had a lot of Washington to start, and I had a lot of Washington paired with the pitching combo of Max Scherzer and paired with the pitching combo of Norris from Detroit. So it wasn't until I saw some late line movement into, and we can go to it right now actually. I mean, I use Fantasy Labs. It wasn't until I saw some late line movement in, go to Vegas, and I figured people are just tinkering lineups before it ends. Late line movement into the Cincinnati. So Cincinnati, one of the best in terms of just totals on the slate, and we got even more late line movement. Okay, this is crazy. Guess everyone is out barbecuing. Yeah, definitely everybody's out barbecuing. I know I'm just doing this for really if one person, so you, but I'm just gonna be doing this anyway, so I just turned on the camera. Wow, so this is interesting. This just happened, so surprising a little bit. So this is the thing that matters the most right here. This differential. So I have it filtered on Fantasy Lives by differential. zero point 0.9 runs and 0.7 for the Red Sox. 0.9 for Washington. And then really, outside of that, nothing major. Just a couple of guys or a couple of teams implied totals going up. Washington I didn't see this. This was in like the last 5 minutes right before lock, which I think there was like 10 minutes to change lineups, but I'm not going to. Washington was up to about 0.6. Their line was up zero point 0.6 runs. Now it's pretty much a whole run, 5.5 against Miami today. So what this indicates is that you just have professionals coming in and saying, you know what, yeah, I am going to go all in on Washington today, or not all in, but I like this line a lot. They come in, they put their money on it, and now it's moved up a lot. So a lot of professionals liking the over in that game, driving the over up. That's the same thing that was happening with the Reds. The Reds moved to 5.7. Now they're down to 5.6. I ended up jumping onto the Reds, one, for affordability reasons, and two, because of that line movement. So I have a decent amount of stacks in my mid-stakes lineups with the Reds. But I had and I still have a good amount of stacks in the lower stakes with Washington. They're really my dominant stack on the lower end, so I feel good about that. But seeing that line movement now to 0.9, another 0.3 coming in on Washington, virtually the second highest total on the slate, right there with the Reds, it was huge. And another thing that made me get back onto the Reds was really just their top of the order. Literally, 1 through 6 for the most part, it could be stacked. I mean, you can only stack 5 on Draftkings, so 1 through 5. I think I ended up getting 2 through 5. I did not play 4800 or whatever it was, 4600 Sensible, whatever his name is, Sensible. But I did get 2 through 6, and that's obviously where you want to go for in stacks. The most ideal stack, if you're playing a 5-man stack, I would say is a 2 through 6. Depending on the team, maybe the 7-hitter, ISO against a certain pitcher, whatever it might be. But the one hitter's automatically having one at-bat with, of course, he's going to be the best chances at getting an additional at-bat, right? Batting first, but going to automatically be in a position where he's starting the game off with nobody on base. So the opportunity for RBIs for a one-hitter who usually don't carry much power is automatically lower EV for just a one-hitter. Now, that's not the biggest of deals, right? But just in general, getting guys on base, I want to go in more power, 2 through 5, if possible, 2 through 6. And that was very easy, I would say, and you can still get to Scherzer with the Reds. So I ended up going there in the mid stakes and above. But seeing Washington, if you ended up landing on Washington, I'd feel really good right now, seeing that their total went up pretty much a run. The Red Sox, look, they were by far the most intriguing option. Their lineup came out literally like 15 minutes before lock, and I'm looking at it right now on my phone. Benintendi, anything different? Devers batting third, I believe that's different. That seems like it's different. Instead of Martinez third, and then fourth had been like a Bogarts combo. Yeah, Holt in the lineup at 8. Yeah, so pretty much for the Red Sox, the problem is Benintendi was affordable, I think 4,100. But the problem is when you have, I think it was 5 guys above $5,000 for the Red Sox today. That's just too much. It's tough to really get to that. And we can go to it right here. Actually, I can go to salaries to see exactly what the Red Sox. We could filter it. All the way down to Boston. She had Mookie at 56, Chavez at 55. Yeah, Velasquez at 55. I mean, okay, no, that's pitcher. That's pitcher. Okay, not the catcher. Devers at 50. What was he at? 53. JD Martinez at 53. And to feel confident in getting anything there. Game starting now, 110. Perfect. So, if we go back to this, yeah, run totals obviously matter. Trying to get away from the chalk matters. Red Sox, I imagine, come in low owned or under owned due to the fact that, yeah, it's really tough when you have 5 guys in the starting lineup that are 5,000 plus. Really tough to stack. Really tough to get to more than 2 of those guys with the pitching options on today's slate. Really forcing you to pay up for at least a Max Scherzer, if not trying to be contrarian with a Cole or a Castillo. So, yeah, I think the Reds in the Nationals are my 2 favorite stacks in the slate, and then I would go down as my 3rd favorite stack to actually the Padres. Playing in Yankee Stadium, a lot of right-handed power for the Padres, whether you're looking at Reyes, 15 homers on the year, whether you're looking at a guy who has not been hitting home runs as of late, but Machado, the park in Yankee Stadium, just sets up perfectly for those guys, batting 2 and 3 today. So I got to a decent amount of Padres. They're totaled nice at 4.8. You have a ton of great totals today. And again, the weather's getting warmer, so we're going to see totals averaging out around 5 runs very soon. You can see most of these totals above 4. Yeah, Padres were my 3rd favorite stack today. I just, in a vacuum, the Red Sox would be my favorite stack, but when you take into account pricing and the rest of the slate, I didn't get to any Red Sox. So, yeah, for me right now, it is the Reds, Washington in that order, and then the Padres. I got off of the Yankees. I started the day out on the Yankees. Seeing the lineup they put together, I did like some pieces of it, but I liked some pieces of it in terms of one-offs. In terms of stacking it, it just doesn't feel as upsidey to me. I like the fact that Aaron Hicks is batting 3rd and he's only 4,100. That's really good. I like the fact that I believe Clint Frazier is batting 6th. That's really good. But outside of that, there's not too much that I really wanted to get to in that lineup. In terms of stacking 4 to 5 guys, I like Clint Frazier and I like Aaron Hicks as one-offs based on their price, based on where they're batting in those lineups, matchup, whatever it might be against Strom. So yeah, I kind of went over some of this in terms of the pitching side. The hitter side is usually tough for me to get to because I really don't know until it's over. I'm really curious now. Has this line moved any more before lock? Okay, so it went back down and the Reds went up. So this is what we close at in terms of lines today. Makes me feel good about the Reds. They close at a 5.7. Washington closes at a 5.4. Washington, the biggest line movement on the day. So if you played Washington stacks, feel good about them because not only do you have a stake in them, but some of the best professionals in the world put a lot of money on Washington late in the day, which usually indicates that they like the spread, the number. They moved it to that point to a spot where early in the week or earlier in the day, really, or last night, they can take advantage of it, and that's exactly what they did. Same thing can be said for teams like the Red Sox, although I imagine a lot of that is probably public-based money. Same could be said, honestly, for Washington against the Marlins. But I like what we're seeing here. I like the fact that I got a lot of Reds in Washington, and I believe I'm not being contrarian in that nature, but I believe setting your stacks up certain ways can get you to be contrarian. So that's where I'm residing. And yeah, I'm just chilling. So Brian said that, guess everybody's out barbecuing. Makes sense. It is Memorial Day. Everybody's off today. I bet for the most part, you are not sitting in your house at 1:15 doing nothing, as I am. But not really, guess not doing anything, but more so working. Adam Frazier's single to start the game. Not bad. But yeah, I am here until I think 1:30, and then I got to go. Then I got to go do my obligations for the day. So feel free to ask me any questions that you want. I'm going to literally just be chilling on camera. So there's like a couple of people watching, so I'm not really worried about people if they need to ask questions. It's going to be more than possible. What do we got? What do we got? So Sportscaster, yes. There's a question about Sportscaster on the stream earlier. Sportscaster is it's just pretty much if you consider Twitch a gaming platform for streaming, although obviously there's DFS people, sports people on Twitch. Sportscaster is more so a site for sports-based things. You can check it out as people just streaming, calling games even. That's I think where a lot of the upside will be, calling games. It's not going to be where really just coming on and chatting, which I will be doing, but I'll be going over to Sportscaster. Nothing changes on YouTube. Probably 2 times a week for like a quick 15-minute video, or really just stream, not video uploads, but live streaming interaction, and then like an hour to 2 hour broadcast a week. That's what I'll be looking at. So I just wanted to cover, where I kind of fell on today, what I fell on. And this video is, I guess this stream is, Miami, a team that has been hitting a lot better, but the ISO and the power is still down for a guy in Scherzer who doesn't give it up. Although right here, once again, has 2 hits given up in the first, which is never good for a guy who's probably 60% owned in most contests, if not higher, on a 10-game slate. So in terms of getting off of Max Scherzer for somebody else, it made sense. It's baseball, there's variance, but this was a spot that just seemed as good as any compared to the other options that you had. But right here, 2 base hits to start the game is not great for Max Scherzer, especially when the 2 outs he has are not strikeouts. So, All right, I'm going to close this stream up. If you have any questions, reach out to me on Twitter. Reach out to me really through wherever. People have been reaching out on Facebook. That's fine, but I use that for mainly family and close friends. So just try and reach out on Twitter if possible. Instagram's open as well. Thank you. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day. Peace.